Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever I do be finding you today, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we are doing a themed video of terrible sibling drama, sibling rivalry, just like family issues just surrounding siblings. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? This first story comes from Am I Overreacting? Am I overreacting for leaving my own birthday dinner after my sister announced her engagement? The category family/in-laws. My 28 female birthday was last weekend, and to celebrate, I planned a nice low-key dinner with just my parents, my partner, 29 male, and my older sister Anna, 30 female. Okay, so the sister is a little bit older. Usually in these types of stories, older siblings get jealous if you hit a milestone before them. So the age is great context. For context, I love my sister, but she has a history of making big moments about her. Okay, yeah, see, upstaging because they're older. It has been a running joke in our family, but it's always bothered me. Of course it's going to bother you, because it's not funny when people take your moments and your accomplishments and one-up them. It's just dickish behavior. The dinner was going great until it was time for cake. Just as the waiter was walking towards our table with the cake, Anna stood up, clinked her glass for a toast, and launched into a speech. It ended with her flashing a brand new engagement ring and announcing that her boyfriend had proposed that morning. I mean, your birthday could not be about you, could it? I mean, if she didn't announce it that morning and waited until the evening, she could have waited a couple more hours until after your birthday dinner, or even the next day, or she could have just told people beforehand. She didn't need her own meal and celebration to announce an engagement, or if she wanted to, she could have had an engagement party. If everybody was there for your birthday, surely they could have stayed there for another day for an engagement party. Everyone was stunned, but immediately started screaming and congratulating her. The waiter awkwardly put my cake down, and it was completely forgotten. I am so sorry to hear, my darling. The rest of the dinner was entirely consumed by the talk of her engagement, wedding plans, and how she'd kept it a secret all day. Yeah, why keep it a secret all day if you know there's somebody else's plans? Like, she could have told someone earlier, or waited until, like, after the meal. I tried to be happy for her, but I was crushed. It felt like my birthday was completely erased. After about 20 minutes of this, I couldn't take it anymore. I quietly told my partner I wasn't feeling well, paid my share of the bill, and left. Okay, I'm glad even though it was your birthday, you still paid your bill. You're a better person than me. Now my phone is blowing up. My sister is furious and said I ruined her special moment with my pouting. Girl, it was your dinner, not hers. She ruined your special moment. My mum called me selfish and said I could have been happy for my sister and that I made Anna feel guilty and embarrassed. She didn't know. Anna made herself feel guilty and embarrassed by planning to announce her engagement on somebody else's celebration to overshadow it. Why didn't she tell everybody during the morning when the husband proposed, well, the fiance proposed? My partner understands why I was upset, but thinks leaving was an overreaction and made things worse. I feel like she could have picked any other day to announce the big news, or even just the morning just before it happened, but after the dinner. Am I overreacting for walking out of my own birthday dinner? No. If she was pissed off about you pouting and being upset, she'd just be more angry if you stayed. With these people, you can never win. It feels like there's a bias in which one sibling can never be wrong, and you're the sibling who unfortunately is always wrong. Not overreacting, very weird, she decided to announce this when the cake came out, arguably the time a birthday girl would get the most attention on a birthday. Your sister could have announced it at the end of the dinner, like I said, or even better, her own event. She's lazy and selfish, yeah. That's the top comment. I completely agree with that one. It's just so weird. Like, she said she kept it a secret all day. That's the line that stuck with me and feels really, really, really weird. Oh, I waited all day right up until your special moment where you get to make a wish and blow out the cake that was specially made for you. Like, no, girl, you just wanted to. Like, how hard is it to keep a secret? Not that hard, unless you really wanted to tell people. You could have just told people before the dinner. Moving swiftly on to a short story, short and sweet, like me, from Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for telling my identical twin sister to stop calling us the fat twins? That's in Little Bunnies, like fat twins. I, 23 female, have an identical twin sister who, of course, is like 23 female. Who loves the idea that we have a psychic connection? Okay. We were thin during childhood. I stayed in my home state and she went to university in a different state. While far away, we both got very overweight and we're only 20 pounds apart. My sister is back in her home state and she's amazed that we had a similar change. She's been calling us fat twins. I eventually told her to stop calling us that and she got upset. She said if I don't like how I look, then I must dislike how she looks. She said I'm being shallow and ignoring our special bond. Am I the a-hole? Okay, this is a little bit of a controversial opinion because obviously I don't have a twin. I find this like weird bond. Like sometimes a sibling, like the twin will have it, one of the twins will have it, like a sibling, or the parent will have it. One of the parents, both of the parents, whatever. Where it's like, oh, the twins have to dress the same, they have to look the same, they have to have the hair done the same. You can only tell them apart by a color. They've got like the opposite favorite color, but they dress the same. Something's a tiny bit different. They've got this connection. They have their own special language. They don't. They just look the same. Okay. There's no psychic connection. There's no special bond. There's just bond. Like there's just a sibling bond. There's a family bond. It's a family relationship. You're not suddenly a psychic medium who can read people's minds or each other's minds or communicate psychedelically because you're twins. You're just twins. I'm sorry if this is upsetting people or ruining someone's imagination, but people need to stop this idea that twins are like meant to be carbon copies. They're like perfectly in sync with each other. No, they're two individually thinking people who have completely different identities. Okay? Everybody's different, and it's really weird to create the twins' entire identity over the fact that they look like each other. So, not overreacting, and your twin being like, "Oh, look at us with," that's not going to help the body dysmorphia. Okay, a lot of people who have issues with their weight have body dysmorphia. So, shush. Big is beautiful. We love big queens in this house. This one is also from Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole? Oh, the other person was not the a-hole, just to, clarify. Am I the a-hole for telling our parents my brother had a child outside of his marriage? For years, my brother has been trying to go into business with my husband. I'm assuming OP, that there's no information, so I'm just going to assume that OP is a woman. It hasn't worked out for various reasons, but he finally had an idea that my husband thought would be successful. The thing is, before my husband goes into business with anyone, he does an extensive background check on them. I'm not sure if he made my brother aware he was going to do a check or not, but it's how he found out that my brother has a daughter outside of his marriage. What's that got anything to do with the business? The background check, at least like where I come from, is to check that there's no criminal records. So, there's no like risk of the person damaging the repertoire or like stealing or stuff like that. What does having a child outside of marriage have to do with the business? Yeah, he may have to pay child support, but that's none of your business, that's just his business. I had no idea this child existed, and my husband warned me I shouldn't say anything because just not tell my parents. I couldn't just not tell my parents, so I told them a few days ago. Why? Are the parents super religious? They were as shocked as me, as they also had no idea she existed and immediately confronted my brother about it. Turns out his wife is fully aware. Okay, yeah, then it's no one's business. If the wife is aware, then he's not really lying to the people it matters to. Maybe he lied to you because he knew you'd overreact like this. Okay, so his wife is aware. But she said she would leave it if he tried to include his daughter in the family, which is why neither of them told any of us about her. Okay, so she's a little bit of an a-hole as well. If he tried to include his daughter in the family, she would leave. Why? Is the daughter a criminal? My parents want to meet her and include her in our family, but my sister-in-law is threatening to leave if that happens, so my brother won't give them her mother's contact information. They want my husband to find out for them, but he's refusing to get involved, so everything's a poop show right now. I personally want to meet my niece, so I've told my husband if he doesn't give me the information, I'll ask the friend he uses for background checks. Myself, I don't think you can do that. I mean, his background check friend is meant for business, and the fact that you're going to be using him means that you're meddling in the business. I don't think that's good, which has caused multiple fights between us. Of course it has. My brother hates me right now and is blaming me for his potential divorce, but I don't think that it's fair as I didn't know my parents would immediately confront him. Yes, you are the a-hole. So OP's like, okay, my husband found out this information which has no relevance to the job. He told me he didn't want to tell me because I'm a blab. I blabbed, and now everybody's mad at me. Am I the a-hole? You are, but also so is your husband, because that background check should only be checking if he has a criminal record and stuff like that. Why does his children have anything to do with his background check? That's irrelevant. Also, it's not information he should be like if he is like the owner of the business, he shouldn't really be sharing confidential information like this. I'm sure that's also against the rules. The wife of the husband of the brother, yeah, your brother, OP's brother's wife is also an a-hole for not wanting to meet the daughter unless the daughter is like a criminal, but it sounds like she's a kid. And then the parents and OP are also a-holes for being like, I only wanted to meet my niece. I only caused all of this family drama because I wanted to meet my niece. It's my brother's fault for having a child. Everybody is an a-hole except the brother. He's just following everybody's instructions and he's caught in the middle. A word of advice, use protection, okay? I understand that you can want kids and then suddenly it breaks up, but just use protection so this stuff doesn't happen. Also, I feel bad for like the secret daughter. I hope the boyfriend can get in contact with his daughter in the future because that wife sounds so toxic, not wanting anything to do with her. I'm assuming it's because it's from a previous relationship and she's insecure. Like, I don't really want to throw that word around, but it does seem that way. Why else would you not want to meet a child that belongs to your love? Like, stepchildren exist. Anyway, the OP and everyone except the brother and the daughter is the a-hole. I have one final story here, and this one comes from Am I the Buttface, which is a new one for my Chanel. Am I the buttface for refusing to carry both bags and fighting with my older sister during a family trip? This sounds like very classic sibling rivalry. Hi, I 16 female. Yeah, classic sibling drama. I 16 female. I'm on a trip with my family to visit relatives. My sister 26. Okay, I'm not one to judge at all, but 26. Should you really be causing fights and arguments if you're still living with your parents? Hopefully she's contributing to the rent and stuff because I get the cost of living and stuff, but like if you're living at home at 26, watch your tone because they can kick you out. Yeah, my sister and I have been staying with them while traveling. This whole thing has been kind of a nightmare for me. Since the beginning of the trip, I've been carrying this super heavy backpack that has everything like meds, hygiene stuff, chargers, snacks, etc. For both me and my sister, I packed it myself and honestly it's brutally heavy. My shoulders and back are killing me. I've also been sick with a fever and a cold. Why are you traveling if you're sick? You shouldn't be made to travel if you're sick. You could get worse or pass it on to vulnerable family members. I've had trouble breathing and blowing my nose constantly, and I still haven't said anything. I think you probably should, especially if you're visiting family. I've just carried the bag quietly while my sister walks around in her with her mini purse, reapplying a lipstick every hour. So sister's not carrying anything at all. To make it worse, my sister's friend ordered 2 iPads, an Apple Pencil, and a watch to the country we were visiting because it was cheaper, and now we're responsible for bringing them back. My sister decided my new school bag was the best place to stuff all the expensive heavy tech, plus some bulky things of hers. So now not only do I have the original heavy bag, I have an extra one filled with her stuff that's not even mine. Are you made to carry that too? Earlier I went to the bathroom to freshen up, and when I came back my sister had taken my school bag and started packing it without asking me. She put a bunch of big things inside which made it harder for me to carry. She even put the iPads in there along with other stuff and kept the lighter bag for herself. She's like 10 years older than you though. I didn't say it wasn't fair or anything dramatic, I just started fixing things and adjusting the bags so that she could carry a bit more. That's literally it. Then she said this would make her bag heavy. I mean, yes. And I said she can carry a little weight for once. She got mad and started yelling. She grabbed the bag and turned it upside down. Everything fell out, even her friend's iPads. And her books. She started throwing stuff and putting them back while screaming. Okay, whoa. Something tells me this girl doesn't pay rent. She's 26 and she's throwing a 6-year-old tantrum. I was just standing there, but I got really angry, so I did exactly what she did. I flipped the bag too. Okay, girl, you're 16. You're old enough to know that you shouldn't do this. You're just as bad as each other. But she's 26, so she's a bit worse. That's when she that's when she kicked me first and yelled, "What are you doing? Those are new iPads." And I said, "You did it first and you literally hit me." Then I hit her leg and she slapped me, I slapped back, and then she slapped me again, and then I slapped. Okay, so you're just fighting. Our mum came in and took her side immediately. I tried telling her that I've been carrying the heavy bag this whole trip without one single complaint, while being sick and exhausted. All my sister has done is carry her tiny bag and touch up her lipstick every hour. My mum said, "You're not going anywhere anymore," and started scolding me, while my sister stayed quiet. Then both of them walked out before leaving. My sister said right in front of me, "Let her carry both bags." So I'm here sitting after repacking everything while sick and tired and wondering if I'm the problem or not, wanting to carry everything, but not wanting to carry everything anymore, or if they're just treating me like I don't exist. So am I the butt face? Edit. I think I forgot to clarify. I'm carrying two iPads from the beginning, hers and mine. And I'm carrying a few books too to study, hers and mine. So those are two extra iPads to make it four, and one Apple Watch, which I am supposed to wear for the traveling point of the time. And then when we get back, we'll give it to a friend. Okay, okay. I'm just looking at comments. Say to your mum, "That's a great idea, mum. I'll stay here. I'll carry my stuff with me. Sister can carry all of her stuff herself and her friend's stuff. Thanks, mum. Pack your stuff in a bag and your sister's in her bag, then give it to your mum and say, 'Here's what I've been carrying.'" And then OP goes, "They took the things out of what's in hers bag and left it in the room she's sleeping in." This is one of those sibling fights that shouldn't have happened because the older sister should know better. 26. You're a full grown adult and you've got to rely on mummy to take your side against a sibling a decade younger than you. Like, I really hope she's paying rent and stuff, and that's why the mum was quick to pick sides to be like, "Oh no, my allowance. Don't argue with my allowance," or something like that. Because if she's, just the attitude that she's got is very living off parents, and I don't want to judge because everybody's different. Some people have an attitude because it's not their day. You're not the butt face, but you shouldn't have hit your sister because you hit her back. She could be like, "Oh yeah, if she's got a bruise as well as proof, and if you don't bruise as easily, it's not going to look good." This is coming from someone who had fights with their siblings a lot. Don't hit them back because then, especially if you can bruise or if you don't bruise, having taken a hit, you can be like, "Okay, this person's hit me," and if they're like, "Oh, they hit them back," it's like, "Oh well, no, I didn't. Where's the red mark? Where's the bruise?" It's just like, even though you want to hit them in that point, don't. It's good to, like, even like without siblings, if you're being harassed in public, don't hit someone because that will not bode well in court. I'm on like OP's side, mostly because OP's still a kid, kind of. They're not 18 yet, but like the sister is a full grown adult. Her brain is gonna stop developing next year. I'm more biased. I just can't believe a 26-year-old is like acting like she's still in high school and she's like overreacting over having to carry stuff. Like, if you're living rent free, pull your weight in any other way. And if you're not living rent free, still pull your weight because, you're still living with your parents, but whether you pay rent or not, put in some effort. I don't know, you're not the butt face. And I don't like your sister. 26, like, again, the economy is disgusting, it's in shambles, it's worse than an egg that's been dropped on the floor. But 26 and living at home and having this audacity, you need to watch your tone. Parents can kick you out after the age of 18. They can just be like, "Nah, I don't want you here, bye." They can have no excuse to kick you out. They can just do it because they don't like you anymore. I'm gonna leave it there. I do have a lot more to say, but I do want to keep this video under a certain time limit. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please share, like, subscribe, comment, comment again, and I'll see you in the next video, my babies. I will see you next week, maybe. Mwah.